It's time. Obviously. Yes, folks. God damn it! Need the light. Oh yes, it's finally time. Today is day one of working on the shop. Now I've had a few thoughts of what I'm going to be doing in the meantime whilst I've been sort of doing the house up and jiggery-pokering here and there. Basically, the long and short bit is I'm going to be gutting this place. Everything you see, all of these shelves, all of this rubbish on the ceiling, this stuff behind me, it's all going to be going, and I'm going to be literally starting with a blank canvas. So everything I own is going to be thrust into one corner of the shop or put in the house, or I don't know, I'll find somewhere to put it all whilst I work on what's going on in here. Step one will be cleaning, repainting everything, basically. That's going to be all the walls redone, it's going to be the floor redone. I've got some new pieces of equipment on the way, so I need to get everything done before that starts to arrive. Second thing, I've got an electrician lined up, so hopefully within the next sort of few days to few weeks I should have power in here, which is going to make a huge difference because I'll be able to run my forge, I'll be able to run the new pieces of equipment, I'll be able to run my old pieces of equipment. Basically, it's going to make this place functional. So, without any further ado, let's get started. Like I say, step one, getting everything down and working on the walls. It's so depressing, the fact that I'm so excited about painting again. I hate painting. Well, that's got most of the rubbish off the ceiling. There's still a few bits up here I need to get rid of, and these metal bars I think I'm actually probably going to keep. They could come in quite handy. There's two of those. I've managed to get these ridiculous lights down, and I don't know if you saw in the other video, but this was some really weird wiring. The actual end here I think was plugged into an extension lead in the house, but it didn't actually wire up to anything, so the power was basically another extension, which also powered the lights, and also powered another extension, which I'm sure was probably a huge fire hazard, but whatever, I guess it's still here, so it stood the test of time. What do I know? Now you might be wondering what this bracket is for, and there's actually a good reason for that being there. Unfortunately, I don't know what it is. I also don't know why this light, I think it's a light, is connected to not an awful lot, really. So they're going to be coming down too. Like I say, I'll keep these metal ones, but all of these extra pieces of wood, they're going to be going, and oh god, there's more scrap up here as well. I'm sure I can probably find a use for this at some point, but for the moment it's just in the way. I also need to get these down because I don't like them. And there's a steel Dumbo picture. Can't remember why that's there. Oh, do you know what? Seriously. This thing. I have no idea what purpose it serves, but what I do know is they put it on so bleeding tight with a really long bolt that's taking ages to de-thread. Ah, this thing can officially burn in hell. Ah, come on. Ah, yes. Result. Come on. Come on. Come on. Ah, yeah! And you can go f*** yourself as well. I think this is the last thing to come down. Ah, there we go. And then that should hopefully just come out. Woo! Victory! Take a look at all this stuff. And that is just from what was on the ceiling. But, as you can now see, it looks considerably clearer. Now, I think it's time to work on these two shelves, and then probably get started on this lot. Fun, fun, fun. Excuse me while I just move my Buster Sword. I mean, look at the state of all of these. Absolutely pebble dashed. Holes, drills, raw plugs, screws, nails, just an absolute mess. I'm now kind of stuck as to whether or not I should probably try and fill those in before painting. I suppose I might as well, really. There's no point doing half a job, but it's going to double the workload. Right, let's get these little bits off down here. I should probably put this leg vise somewhere for safekeeping. Of course, logically, there's only one place safe enough to store a leg vise, and that's in another leg vise. There we go, there's the end wall done. So next step will be to get rid of this shelving here, and then try and fill in some of these holes and give the whole thing a clean, a wash, a paint, and make it look all shiny and nice. And oh my god, that is a massive spider. Look at the size of him. Well, that's got the shelving unit cleared, so next step will be to rip this down. Rather annoyingly, I was expecting an electrician at 10:30 today who never showed up and never gave an excuse. I found that one of the biggest issues with both doing up the house and doing this place up is the reliability of tradesmen. It's just shocking. I mean, don't get me wrong, you do get good ones, but come on lads, get it together. On the subject of Sparkies, I've just had the second one come, who actually arrived early, so, you know, swings and roundabouts. We're basically going to be putting a new fuse board up in this corner here. Unfortunately, what I thought was I knew we would have to run some armoured cable, but I figured we could probably just run it out of this wall and along the fence, a bit like what this hose pipe's doing. And I thought up here, along the top, down, and then round to the side of the house where it would plug straight into the mains. Unfortunately, that is not the case. What I'm going to need to do instead is take a lump hammer to, I mean, you can't really see it, but there's this concrete plate. So I'm going to need to take a lump hammer and a chisel and dig out a groove here. I'm then also going to need to dig down about 8 inches all the way along the side of the house, and then we're going to run it along the front here and then underneath the slabs, up and across the wall that way. So it's a lot more work and it's a perfect bleeding nuisance, but I'm assured that that is the safest way, and I can't see any reason why the guy would be lying, because frankly, I'm going to be doing the work, not him. So I think the previous owner of this house fancied himself as a bit of a DIYer. However, I think he probably should have been a bit of a DIYer, or don't do it yourself. Because he's constantly switching between securing things, case in point, with a Phillips head, and then literally the same shelf with the next bolt along will be a flathead. And it's incredibly irritating. You never quite know what you're getting into. Almost every shelf so far in this garage has been a mix-up of the two. To be fair, I'm probably being a bit harsh, because he fit up these shelves absolutely beautifully. I mean, credit where credit's due, that is snug. But then I'm afraid it's business as usual. I mean, look at that. I get what you were going for, but nah. Well, that's got it off and away from the wall. Now I've just got to figure out how to disassemble it. I think it's all bolts. Really annoyingly, my impact driver only has a socket up to 11mm thick that fits. So I'm having to do 12mm, which these are, by hand, which is just typical. I'm 1mm out, and it would make life so much easier. Oh hum, what can you do? One down. Well, that took a really long time. Wrist is killing me. Wish that impact driver had been working. Look at the amount of nuts all over the floor. I guess I won't be doing any nut-related wrist exercise for a while. Ah. Should really have done the walls first. There we go. That's it so far. I know you've just watched probably the best part of a 7 or 8 minute video of me just basically cleaning a garage. However, this is part 1 of a bit of a video series of doing up this shop, so hopefully you'll be able to see the progress I make as I make it. Part 2 will be obviously prepping and painting the walls, hopefully, if I can get that far. And then it'll be a case of getting the electric sorted, the equipment put in, and trying to figure out where I want to put everything. So check back, like, comment, subscribe, that'd be great. See you later. Cheers. Bye.